The Standard Karatazine Kambere, it's by Russia's war. Kurina Kenya pedire baita ndi kurune ya Russia na moroto yo yuri kuona ngwikendo tetheria family sio indi nyuma ya bokwithira bekinya ndi kuruneu ni bedire bakiukwa na kwethuma krutu ba wita kurwa ndi kurune ya Ukraine na kiri mbisiriri yao kwina bisha ya ntomurume omwe ekirite combat na bunduki eneo na ngutsia jeshi na terere uturo bwawe mustari niyo mbere kiri endwa digurune ya Ukraine akiru ya irandi ya Russia mariko kaditi atua aruatri deadly trap akawe indruaka. A family is shattered after their father, a matatu driver, was duped in traveling to Russia for a job, only to be forced into military service and killed on frontline in Ukraine. Their grief exposes a far-wide crisis. Africans are being swept into a covert Russian recruitment pipeline that preys on poverty and desperation. Security officials and global analysts say Moscow is targeting vulnerable population to plug its troop shortage while shielding Russia from the true cost of war. Governments are now being urged to urgently protect citizens from this deadly dragnet. Kwena miario ya mutiario mbere ya itandigurune ya Russia atietera muthako wa atiri, always make peace among you and never create enemies. Do not bother your mom. Take care of her and be a good big brother to your young siblings. You are the one I'm leaving here as I go. So, kwe mantu ya mmuntu wa te kumenyanata kwa karika, but puni buo wirane atirera is firstborn na kumau etakiri frontline nduene ndikurune ya Russia ndikurune ata amenya eta ukuma kiri ndwe na kaitene kane ndi family niti na kithi kiro kinene nyuma yawe kwithira aito turo bwawe ndwene karatasine katwili edede kana technology kaitene ka nithirite edi mustari nombere uchangia kiri mantu igi gender based violence nara either kwithira witumira message cia sambazwa kiri WhatsApp kiri mitandao yonde ira wisia kijamii mwanka ya kinyamwe mantunye ya treni ukinyila gedei family ya treni ukinyila chore baku ukethira ya ukinya so IT AI ni kurikana ni mwe ira yithirite changia burene kiri utambia mantu ya GBV. Kratasine katutatu alarm as infant HIV infections spike in Wajir. Irikana for the first time makarika ya achiari kana mwekuru kuwatithia mwana wawe murimo yua mukingwe especially during birth nithirite ya itibunene muno entere chia wajie kirikana nibethirite bakire kon echunchikia 30 na bithatu agatantainya kiriana ori makarika ya murimo yu yakurikana niyethirite yari in decline nontu antu ngiri 19 nibo bethirite bakondekana kuwatwa ni murimo iyo. Kratasine katuna na tutano ni ruono Rwanda utariria rwa ntomurume withirite ito turo bwawe mustari ni mbere kirindwa ya Russia ndigurune ya Ukraine. Why multi-million estates are crumbling to dementia age claims. A string of recent rulings shows courts willing to strike down wills where age illness or confusion clouded judgments. Judges now scrutinize medical evidence and dementia symptoms to determine if a will reflects intent or cognitive decline. So, kire makareka ya maingi nikwithira kwina will ithera ya ikinenkandirwa especially kiri mantu igi biashara kiri mantu igi estates na thai irigana court no mwanka ithire ikiolelia evidence kana mwanka yolelia kujibunene mbere yithire kiruta wa muribwayo yure mantu ya ntuma ndiko gathite arwa 3 when an elderly person signs their will few imagine that declining a memory or a serious mental illness could later destroy those final wishes. Yet, that is exactly what happens in court across the country, sometimes years after death, when aggrieved beneficiaries challenge the documents purporting to be the testator's last wishes. So reme bi mtu ethira itoturo bwawe mantu yare ethira akiaria no ethira yaita ya chinchwa kiriko so no mwaka koti ethiate kuona wilira ya tirore ni ethiate kaiteneka kana mtu urakiana wilira atari kanyeneka keya kaguthira kinenkanira will yawe. Landmark ruling upons EACC's authority over integrity matters. Iririkana EACC ikeyo kuwata na maetia kana ikethere uchunguza kumene na maetia fulani utemu mtu obati kwethira yukumira ntubu nanga koti yongwa ikethere kirita ruling yao, lakini koti ikethere tata wa muribwayo maetia yarawithirito kibandikwa na EACC niyo yabati kwethira yakirimin mwanka wa muriboke ya kwethira bukiritwa bandaye ni koti. Ruto Oburu target MPs who backed opposition in by-election. Mutungere wa kiama kia ODM Oburu Oginga na Rais William Ruto nibedri tenende bakimurika barabedire bakiria kuwata candidate babia mabio baru ukiri ithurano bini ni bia lamisi ya kiume kithiru. Iririkana kiama kia ODM ni kithirite kimurika Anthony Kibagendi urandi muchore wa kwi muno wa Matiang urokwirikana kuria kuwata mbaru urawarungami na kiama kiu kwena kitutu Masaba MP Clive Gisairo wa ODM na Burabu MP Patrick Osero kinyabo nibethirite bakirirwa kuritwa kiri kamiti cie kithomo ndeni ya mbunge nyuma yabo kuwata mbaru murwiri wa kiama kia Matiang nawe Boni Alwale wa kiama kia UDA na muriki kuritwa ya majority whip ndani ya Senate ni kiama kia UDA nyuma yawe kuyeka Seth Panyako wa DAP Kenya kiri kithurano kinini kia Malava na ara UDA ya chindire ukilukira muridi wa kiama kiu David Dakwa. Funeral trip turns tragic as 9 family members die in accident. Family mwe itravelete kuma Nairobi wete Kakamega nethiri kiri mathiko ya yuyuo ni tete kana ni etere antu kenda 3 sons, their wives and 3 grandchildren died when their vehicle veered off Limuru Naivasha Road. So imagine bwetite mathikone bwa tantu bangi kenda so kiuni kio kithikiro kinene kira family uri na kio karatazi na komi. Teachers Shah Medical cover kicks off as doubts on efficiency linger. 400,000 teachers began the transition from AON minutes to government-run scheme. TSC and Shah officials yesterday toured Kenyatta National Hospital to monitor exercise. So, arimo for landicate now nibethirite bakiuma kiri minute na rapathirite abakia mukira utungata bogi momwiri ukulukira scheme eu na nende Shah nithirite kiukia utungata bogi momwiri na mabisa ba TSC nibethirite baita ndene ya masipitari mwanya reo KNH kenda kuona ura utungata bukethira bukari kireka tu nyantuko. We are here broad-based governments and then bicheru indigorwau yandiki ODM nyuma to stay. So ODM tayari kudia thirikari ne ya broad-based ira tongeretwe ni Rais William Ruto. Igirega the nation karatasi na kambere. When public schools leave the poor behind. A new report has exposed inequalities in Kenya's education system, where a majority of learners in public schools lag behind those in private institutions due to inadequate funding, teacher shortages, and congestion. The Oxfam study also reviews how children from poor families are disadvantaged, reducing their chances at a better life. So ni kionanilia ura aritwa barabari kiri public institutions na barabari private bedrite barina difference kiri mantu igie kithomo kio ikiri kana barabari kiri private nibo bakwithira bakiamukira utungata boya bakithomo kuluki ya bara bari skuru che mwingi nontu abo utungata borabo koyanwa boa kithomo. Gachagua rattles his opposition allies with Nairobi zoning plan. A fresh storm has hit the united opposition after former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua unveiled a zoning plan that would bar affiliate parties from fielding candidates for governor, MP, and MCA positions in Nairobi. Ronorodo wenye kiri karatasi ne kamwanja anara kukurekana danger ni murikite ngwataniro ya Rutero Rega na thirikari nyuma ya ura wari munini wa rais na mutongeri wa kiama kia DCP kaiteneka Rigathi Gachagua kwenda kwithira bia mabinge bia ngwataniro ya Rutero Regani bimutira twanya twa governor na MP na MCA musimunene yoa Nairobi. Nawe President William Ruto nethirite aikie kanu kia ruenene kiri barakuwa neba kubanga mantu igi waga kia muno kiri makanisa kana kiri gathering chemwingi akiwa baraba kubanga mantu yabe tumira yuthi bakethira bakiukirwa Italia riritu ria kiwatho akinenkanira directive kiri munene wa polisi Douglas Akanja. Funding cuts, rising infections, fragile HIV gains at risk. The cuts have mainly affected prevention programs since a co-funding model was in place for communities and treatments. Iregana kuito kwa mbesa especially chekurwa na murimo y'umukingo nikimweke kionanilia nibe bithirite be expose murimo yo kwenda utuika wati kiri Kenya thirikari kirombo nende kwithira ni control kendo tire murimo yo ni yukuruwa yo na yutikwithira yukiringithia Kenya. Karatasi neka katutano. Baking boom lures home science tutors. Crisis forces some schools to drop the subject altogether due to unavailability of educators. Iririkana home science kiri skuru imwe ni kurema kuritaneka itomi kutina arimo kana ataalamu bakurutana subject hii na utubura buri ugwati bonene. And now the Teachers Service Commission is facing a major shortage of technical tutors, particularly in home science, a crisis exacerbated by timing of the transition to the competence-based education CBE curriculum, which heavily emphasizes practical skill-based subjects. So, kaitene kam kuna kithomo kia CBE TSC iliwa kuna shortage ya tutors bako ritana home science mtuburane ndevu gedra buri ndingo inene. Karatasi neka mwanja menopause results complicates Ruto's running mate's choice. For President William Ruto, the path to 2027 is as much as a numbers game as a political balancing act. Beyond policy and governance, the critical questions remaining: which region and which leader will provide the votes needed to secure the deputy presidency and create a winning coalition. Nyuma ya munini wa rais Professor Kithure Kindiki ku deliver, especially kiri githurano kinini kia Mbeere North. Irekana ni endikine ne mno kiri rais William Ruto utara munini wawe mwaka yo 2027. Itomine kwena thirikari ya broad-based ODM ni kudemand for a deputy president. Kwewetera ni kuona kithira president agethira ke drop Kindiki na kuyuke someone else nonto bidabi utsetha kaiteneka ne numbers no kareta number ila tia mutethe dio secure second term ya president wa Kenya. MPs ask Treasury to bridge auditor's office funding. Abunge ni bakuria Treasury yithire ikiongela mbesa, especially kiri mantu igi ufund miradi mwanya ya witina mbere ya thirikari. Kiri katuni antuko, yes, we move kiri katuni antuko. Kiri katuni antuko, no banned Africans beyond this point. So karikano Trump nethirite akiriana especially na migrant parabethire bakia kaitene ka Joe Biden, and now kiri bundi barua no banned Africans beyond this point. So banned in quotes. Haduwa pamo barabara indiguru neu ogumire ndeu gutatina watho na kwou ne babati kwithira bakithamwo kana guyukirwa matagali yara bakithira bakibanga ya ndiguru eu. Ono tukinya muthia yo Mangatheti gucokeria nkatho no tupagutha watanirite na uni kethira gicokeria studio cietu cia War FM kuma thaa 1:03 nani kuma thaa 3 mwaka thaa 4 tuketha tucokera na MCA wa municipality Kale Muthethe kenda kwariria mantu mwanya yaigi siasa cia tutam na kinya mantu igi wagagia bokaria na mpithukiro cia maitha na wamba bwandithia.